Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in today. This is Kevin. Today we are going to talk a lot about one of our products here at Burn that we sell. It is our Ignite Explosive Pre-Workout. Okay, that is Ignite right there. It is an awesome pre-workout we sell. A lot of ladies have used it. A lot of you have loved it. But today I thought I would make a video on just exactly what a pre-workout is, why you would want to use it, what is in Ignite, what makes it different than some of the other competitors, and just to answer a couple of your questions and really show you and describe how it can make a big difference in your workouts, both in the gym and at home as well. So stick around, we're going to go through a whole bunch of different questions, and I hope you find today's video is super helpful for you. So pre-workout is a pretty popular supplement within the fitness industry. You'll see, if you walk into like a GNC or a SUPS, you're going to see a whole bunch of different brands, a whole bunch of different styles, with a whole bunch of different ingredients to them. All right, but the point of a pre-workout is to give you an increased exercise or increased jolt of just all of your muscles and your energy, and to just get you mentally prepared for that workout. A lot of people, including myself, whenever I take my pre-workout, it is always it kind of mentally prepares me. That's kind of that switch where it goes from just me living life into me getting ready and getting prepared for a workout. They definitely provide a big energy boost. So there are different ingredients in a lot of them. We're going to get to what is inside Ignite today, but they're going to give you that energy boost. They're going to get you ready, and that is mainly what people use pre-workout for. There are a lot of different ingredients in there as well that are going to help you during your workout and even have an impact afterwards as well. But it really helps us to focus in and to get that energy set and ready to roll so that you can crush that workout. Well, I figured I would answer this question with maybe a couple different scenarios. So number one, if you feel like maybe you have been kind of stagnant in your workouts, or you're just coming to the gym and here, you walk in and you do your workout and you walk out and you feel like, okay, I did something, but you weren't as maybe impacted by it, or you didn't see those results or that performance that you would normally expect. Maybe your energy has been down, maybe your mood has been down. A lot of different scenarios like that. Maybe you are just kind of lagging in workouts, especially when you're working out at home. I know how difficult it can be to you're at home, that's your resting place. So it can kind of be difficult to make that switch per se into workout mode, especially you're still in that home. So that's one thing that I love to use, and that's one of the biggest reasons, especially now when you're working out at home, that pre-workout might help, is to switch your mind and your body into workout mode compared to just being at home and mentally in that relaxed state that you're normally in at home. So those are some of the biggest reasons why you might want to take a pre-workout, especially during this time. But when you get back in the gym, I know that you will especially be able to see, you'll feel different, you will feel energized, you will feel just a little more explosive, especially on cardio days. I mean, it's good for any sort of day, but I would consider, especially if those workouts again have been kind of lagging, that Ignite might be a good next step for you to try out and see if you like it. Awesome, so now we are going to get into those ingredients, and this little piece right here that we're going to walk through is really the big separator for why Ignite is going to be better than a lot of other pre-workouts. So if you go into, like I said before, if you go into GNC, if you go into SUPS, if you go into any other supplement store, and you'll see a whole bunch of different brands of supplements and pre-workouts, you are going to, if you take one of them and if you read the ingredients label, there is going to be a whole bunch of different ingredients in there, and most of them you will not be able to A, pronounce, and B, have any idea what they even are, all right? And just as a good rule of thumb, if that's the case, it's probably not the best thing to be eating. It's probably a very processed and very just not the healthiest thing to eat, all right? It's not probably the safest thing for your body. And sometimes less is better, especially when it comes to food and ingredients, but you also have to look at the quality of the ingredients. So in Ignite, a lot of the ingredients and the active ingredients that we're going to talk about today are put in there for a specific reason. Some of them are, just for flavorings and things like that. That gives it that burning berry flavor. But a lot of the ingredients are specifically put into the pre-workout, into Ignite, so that they will have a positive impact on your workout. And they all have different impacts, and we're going to get into that right here. So stay tuned. We are going to talk about a lot of those ingredients. We will start with one of the most important ones, and that is caffeine. So caffeine, I figured we would start with something that is very familiar to us. Caffeine, and it says if you look on the back of the Ignite, it says caffeine anhydrous. And what that anhydrous means is that is the easy absorption way that your body can take in caffeine. Some different pre-workouts will list that. Some different foods will not. But Burn wants you to know, and Ignite wants you to know, that this caffeine is one of the easiest absorbed. However, if you compare Ignite with a whole bunch of different pre-workouts, you're going to find that Ignite has less caffeine in it, and there's a reason why. And the first biggest reason is that we have a couple other ingredients that will also act as that stimulant, which is what caffeine does, and those will help serve that purpose in a little safer and a healthier way, as opposed to just increasing that level of caffeine. So but for those of you who are really interested in how does caffeine affect my performance, affect my workouts, affect my body, the biggest thing it does is it stimulates your central nervous system. So I kind of talked about this on another video, but your nervous system is incredibly important when it comes to working out. It has to do with everything from your brain controlling your muscles, to how fast your muscles react, to how fast they can contract and relax, and a whole bunch of different things. There are a process of steps, and we won't get into that today. But what the caffeine truly does, more than anything, is just stimulate that system and make everything in that process move quicker and more efficiently. So with that, that's how you feel more excited. That's how you feel your mind has been woken up. Your brain is the leader of the nervous system. So and then you will experience that increase in performance as well. Now, there have been some studies that have talked about how caffeine could potentially increase fat oxidation, just because it gets everything kind of in motion. So it causes our adipose tissue, our fat cells, to release some of those free fatty acids, and then we are able to burn those a little bit more. That's what fat oxidation is. So it could increase some of that, but primarily you're going to feel that jolt of energy and that stimulation of the nervous system to just excite your workout. So that is caffeine. Matcha up next, okay? Matcha is one of the, it's actually a finely ground powder that comes from the leaves that we make green tea from. So, and many of you know a lot about green tea. It is a good, more of a natural and good alternative to just increasing your caffeine. So some people, coffee is your thing. Some people have switched over to green tea. There's not a better one. Both of them obviously have their pluses. But green tea, instead of what Burn has chosen to do in the Ignites, instead of just loading up on that caffeine, which we probably get enough of during the day, it is going to add the matcha, which is more of a natural stimulant, and that is going to increase. So that is that purpose why we don't have to load up on so much caffeine. There's only maybe 1 or 2 cups worth of caffeine in that. Yeah, 40 milligrams, 80 milligrams. That's about 1 cup of coffee right there. So you'll get that of caffeine, but the matcha will really help to kind of counteract or not counteract, but pair up with that caffeine to give you that jolt of energy. And there are a variety of different health benefits to green tea, but just know that all of those benefits are included with that Ignite. So matcha is in there and it's a great help for your workouts. BCAAs, awesome. So I get a lot of different questions on these, especially when we're talking about supplements or nutrition within our focus meetings or anything like that. BCAAs, first of all, what those stand for is branched chain amino acids. All right, branched chain amino acids. Now, amino acids are those building blocks of protein. So a protein is made up of links of amino acids. Your body will ingest that, it will break those down, it can cut those up, and it can reassemble them in the sequences that it needs in order to carry out what it needs to do. Many times when you're exercising, that is building up muscle. That is what muscle is made of, those proteins. So you have to ingest protein to get those amino acids to build that up. Now, there are 3 different classifications of amino acids. The first one is the essential amino acids. All right, these we do not produce in our bodies on our own, so we are completely reliant on all of the food intake, all of the supplementation that we need to receive those essential amino acids. Then there are conditionally essential, so during certain circumstances like illness or injury, your body may need additional support from the outside, so ingestion, in order to make enough of those amino acids. And then there are the non-essential amino acids, which are those that your body makes completely on its own, so you don't have to worry too much about getting enough of those. So the BCAAs are 3 different amino acids and they are essential. All right, they are essential, which means our body doesn't make them, so we have to completely ingest them. That is where our body gets them from. Those 3 amino acids are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. All 3 of them are within your Ignite products. They are also all 3 within Afterburn, okay? And there's a reason for that. So multiple different studies have shown that leucine, isoleucine, and valine, when put together, have this increased effect on muscle protein synthesis. So, which means think about that production of protein and that breakdown of protein and building up to of muscle protein. That whole process ramps up simply when you ingest those BCAAs. That's why a lot of people will simply just drink them throughout the day, which I don't believe is truly necessary, especially unless you're going for a very specific goal, and we can talk about that. So sign up for a focus meeting. But BCAAs are very, very helpful when it comes to building up protein. Specifically leucine. Leucine is that one that you really want to keep your eye on. The leucine has been shown that it is the sole amino acid that increases muscle protein synthesis. So it's the main one that causes your muscles to, that production to ramp up. But when it's paired with isoleucine and valine, that production is ramped up even more. So leucine is that big one, but you definitely still want to see it paired with the other 2 branched chain amino acids. And those amino acids are incredibly, incredibly important. It's really cool that Ignite has them because it's thinking about your protein building up during your workout and afterwards as well. So that is why those are in there, and they are incredibly, incredibly important when it comes to performance, when it comes to workout nutrition. So beta-alanine is actually a very interesting supplement and very interesting amino acid that we can take. It's one of my favorites. It has a lot of different benefits, but beta-alanine is a non-essential amino acid. So again, it's a building block of protein, but your body doesn't truly need to ingest it in order to get enough of it. So the difference comes that when you supplement with beta-alanine, when you increase the amount that you take in through your food or through supplements, it can have an interesting effect on your performance. So the biggest thing to, first of all, to just understand that when your muscle is going through a lot of high intensity exercise, and I know a lot of you have felt this, but you'll feel that burn, all right? We might tell you to go and reach that burn, feel that burn, and maybe you're doing a wall sit and your muscle starts to burn a little bit, right? So what is happening in your muscle is that because your muscle is using up its energy and using up its resources, it actually becomes more acidic. This is called metabolic acidosis, and it's put on by exercise. So when your muscle becomes more acidic, it becomes harder to have different chemical reactions in there. It becomes harder to use, and it gets tired. So that's why you feel that fatigue. That's why you feel that burning sensation in your legs, all right? And the level that you are able to reach before you get to that, top level burning, before your muscle just gives out, as many of us feel, that is your muscle buffer capacity, all right? Muscle buffer capacity. So what beta-alanine does is it actually can improve your muscle buffer capacity. So it will act as a buffer. So remember, your muscle becomes more acidic, and that lowers the pH. For those of you, who have swimming pools, who understand that, lowers the pH. Well, what beta-alanine will do is it will try to fight that lowering of the pH to raise it to a more neutral level so that your muscle can continue to work. What that does for you, ladies and gents, is that it prolongs your body's your muscle buffer capacity. So it increases that. So you're able to go for longer before your muscle might start burning to the level that it would beforehand. All right, you're able to, it's shown an increase in strength and power. It's increased a lot of muscular endurance exercises, and especially it is very, very effective when it comes to HIIT style workouts or circuit style workouts, which are exactly what we do most days at Burn. So beta-alanine, the one thing to know about beta-alanine is that it is responsible for one of the other side effects of pre-workout that some people don't really feel, some people don't care for, but some people it kind of can freak them out, especially the first time that you take a pre-workout. But that is that paresthesia effect, which is the tingling of your skin, and you'll kind of feel itchy. You'll kind of feel like, whoa, what is going on? You might feel a little more energized, but some ladies and gents can kind of feel a little freaked out by it, especially if they're not affecting it. It has zero side effects. That's not negative. That is simply just a reaction that your body goes through. It's not negative at all. It's not hurting you at all. That's just what happens and what your body experiences and perceives when it has an increased level of beta-alanine. And this is one of those amino acids or ingredients that you build up a tolerance to, similar to something like caffeine. So you might have to have more of it. It might still have an effect on you and your performance, but you might not feel that tingling sensation after your body kind of gets used to it. So that is one thing to know. If you ever feel the tingling, it is the beta-alanine within that Ignite, within that pre-workout. But it has a profound effect on our performance, especially when it comes to endurance and when it comes to those, strength and power and the performance of your workout. Glutamine is another very important amino acid when it comes to strength, performance, and workouts. It is a conditionally essential amino acid. So during some conditions, like you're sick or you get ill or you exercise strenuously, your body will need an additional supplementation from your food. So in fact, glutamine has a really profound effect. So when you're working out strenuously, your body will run through its stores and it will need additional glutamine from ingestion. So you can get it from different foods like meats and spinaches and green vegetables and anything like that. But increasing your level of glutamine will kind of counteract everything that you lose or that you use up during those workouts. So that's what makes it conditionally essential. And glutamine is very, very interesting. There have been several different effects. So one of the biggest things to understand is that when you exercise, immediately your immune system is depressed. So the function of your immune system decreases while you are working out. Your body is doing so many other different things. It is not really worried about fighting off any sort of virus or anything like that. So number one thing at this point, if you feel sick, if you feel like, especially if you have, if you feel like you have any sort of cold, if you have the flu, if you have any fever, anything like that, working out is not in your best interest. Your body is fighting something, and then if you give it a different stimulus, it is not going to be very happy. That can definitely prolong that illness, and it can decrease your immune system, all right? But if you're healthy, that decrease in the immune system immediately results in a strength increase afterwards in that immune system. So what glutamine does is that it actually counteracts that initial decrease. So while you're working out, that immune system will decrease slightly, but with additional glutamine supplementation, it won't decrease nearly as much. So you'll have a stronger immune system. You'll have a stronger immune system when you come out as well. And what glutamine also can potentially do is decrease the amount of muscle soreness when it comes to you recovering afterwards. And I think a lot of that does have to do with that immune system and just those processes to rebuild and repair what has gone on, because your immune system plays actually a key role when it comes to building up muscle as well. When you are working out and you are stimulating those muscles, your immune system will provide that response of, hey, this area needs some work. So glutamine can help with all of those processes, and that's exactly why we throw it into Ignite. So arginine will be the last one that we talk about, is the last amino acid that Ignite has that has a performance effect, and it actually think of it as kind of a master level riser, right? So it kind of shifts everything else up, and that is because arginine has the ability to cause a couple different reactions, but the biggest thing in your body is that it increases your nitric oxide production, and when you have a higher level of nitric oxide, you experience vasodilation. So your arteries will get bigger so that more blood flow can be sent through them. And what that does is that it gets more blood flow to the muscles, to the area that you are working, and it will increase your ability to, we kind of talked about that muscle buffer capacity before. It'll increase your ability and kind of prolong that muscle fatigue. It'll also increase the effectiveness of everything else. If you have more blood going to a specific area, that's more caffeine that can work in that area. That's more BetaAlanine that can work in that area as well. So there are a whole bunch of different things, but what I kind of like to see arginine as that total increase in effectiveness of all of the other things. So arginine is again another amino acid, and it has a lot of different impacts on your performance. Good question. So this is kind of trivial right here, but the L, if you look on the ingredients list right here, you will see that it's L-glutamine, L-arginine, L-leucine, L-isoleucine. So those are all that really means is that it is a different, it's called an enantiomer, which is a different version of that amino acid. So if there's the opposite one is D-glutamine or D-leucine, and those ones are not useful to us. So when you see the L, you know that they actually put in the right stuff. It is actually true, and your body can truly use it and absorb it, and you will truly see those effects. When a different product might just have glutamine or leucine or valine, you can't be totally sure that they put in all of that, the good stuff that your body can actually use. So what Ignite wants you to know is that it has the good stuff. It has the stuff that is all of those amino acids that we talked about. Those are, your body is actually capable of using the version that they put into Ignite. So you will see that performance increase from those ingredients. So this is a good question. Ignite and all pre-workout is going to be a very time sensitive thing. You have to ensure that you have enough time between when you take it and when when you actually start that workout, to give your body enough time to digest everything and actually use it and have it ready for that workout. So what I always suggest is that people take it about a half an hour before. You can put it in any amount of water. Sometimes people like it, there's no specific amount that you would want to, put water in it or whatnot. Do that to taste. Make sure you are hydrated, especially if you're taking a pre-workout before your workout. So make sure you're hydrated, but take it about a half an hour before. That will give you your body time to digest those things, get it ready, and then you will feel really good, really energized by the time you start that workout. Taking it with food actually is a very good question. I would say yes, because anything on an empty stomach, especially with just specific ingredients like Ignite has, it might make you feel kind of interesting. So I would take some sort of, simple, like a fruit, like a banana or an apple, along with that to provide some carbohydrates, especially, and that will just simply help with your workout as well. But just having something in your stomach might help you, something small might help you to absorb all of those ingredients a little bit better, as well as have a more productive workout. Yeah, so there are a few different supplements that I would definitely recommend. Number one, you've heard it before, but Afterburn are protein, something super important that you need to take, that you should take post-workout to just increase that workout's effectiveness and give your body what it needs to recover from it. But we will get into that a little bit later this week. We're going to talk about hypertrophy outside of the gym, so building muscle. We're going to talk about your nutrition. We're going to talk about pre-workout meals, post-workout meals, how much of those macros should I be having. We're going to talk about different things like sleep and a whole bunch of different factors that go into your workouts and how effective they are and how much you benefit from them. So stay tuned for that. That's coming later this week. That'll be called Nutrition and Muscle Growth. So look out for that video. We'll talk all about that. We'll talk about, we'll kind of tie in this supplement video as well. So anyway, today, if you haven't heard of Ignite before, I think it is a fantastic pre-workout. I like how there's only a few products. Burn has put in only what is necessary to actually have in there versus, a lot of other pre-workouts will add in ingredients just to simply throw them in there and increase the effect. I don't think that Ignite is one of those, it's very, very effective, but it's not going to give you that headache later that day, especially when you work your way into it and if you haven't had a pre-workout before. So if you are interested, definitely check out that Ignite. It can help spark those at-home workouts. So especially if you're going into your living room and you're not feeling that energized because you are not, that's where you've known and what your body and what your mind has associated with rest and recovery and kind of safety. So definitely check that out. It may really make a difference in your at-home workouts. But if you have any other questions, just please feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Kevin, and just thanks so much for watching my video today. If you have questions, reach out. But otherwise, keep crushing those workouts and have a great day, everybody.